Tulsa King episode 4. Oh god, this is a pretty intense episode. And I really enjoyed this episode cuz the first 3 episodes were good. They did enough introductory stuff. They're setting up the world, the vibe, and the tone of this show. And this one really dives in for the drama and shit, man. This is really good. The opening to this episode was awesome. Basically, you have Sylvester Stallone's character break in to this dude's house. He thinks was out to shoot him. Finds out a little more about his backstory, why he's in Tulsa, and also about more about the situation and why he ended up in jail so long, which is pretty unusual for people in his business. And so that's kind of like, oh shit, man. And so that's a great part of this episode. And that's a real drama. And he recruits him. So and then just him going, "I'll bring back some sugar" when the wife walks in, and then that's it. The episode starts with the intro from there, and that was just like shit, man. Great intro right there. Then seeing more of our driver's like backstory in this episode, where you're dealing with his like fallout of like his family life, and then seeing that that is a pretty generic trope. You got this dude who's not going to college, he's young, and his parents don't have their approval, but you see like a different side to the dad in this episode that's really interesting. And so I think it's a very fresh and unique trope added on to that. I really like that, and so that was good. And then seeing the end of this episode, spoilers. Well, spoilers for all of it, I guess. You see the one guy. What's his name? The one guy who recruits at the beginning of the episode beat the shit out of this other dude, and then the wife goes, I'll start calling our real estate agent or whatever," and he's like, "We already have a home," and you're like, "Shit." Because at the first part of this episode, he's like, "I've changed. I started a family," and you see that kind of side to this character, and you're like, okay. And now he's being rolled back into it. What kind of drama is that going to create? Then you see the darker side of it at the end of the episode, and I like that element of it because you're like, so he hasn't changed. He's being brought back in, which of course is something these type of like mafia shows and movies and crime shows do a lot. But I still like appreciated it because of how they set it up, and it's just really neat. So I really like this show. I think it's great. I've seen that this show's outdone A House of the Dragon in the ratings, which is freaking crazy, and it's not undeserved though. I mean, I don't know if this show's as good as House of the Dragon, but it is an incredibly engaging watch. Sylvester Stallone's incredibly charismatic, and the story's interesting, and the characters are good. It's a really good show. I cannot wait for episode 5 next week.